2023 is here. The report contains the committee's proceedings on the considerations of the public finance management, the Turkana County Education Fund Bill 2023, which was published on Friday 8th September 2023. And read the first time on Wednesday 13 September 2023, and committed to the committee, to the Sectoral Committee on Education, Sports and Social Protection, and Social Protection pursuant to County Assembly of Turkana Standing Order number 138. The bill here seeks to repeal the Turkana County Education and Skill Development Fund Act 2014, sorry. The enactment of this bill and provided for a legal framework for the establishment a county education fund to offer bursaries, scholarships, and loans to deserving residents in the county. Establishment of the Turkana County Education Fund will specifically make provisions for funds to be used for granting bursaries to assist needy students pursue education at eligible institutions, to award scholarships to needy students admitted in eligible institutions to pursue rare skills, and funds to be used to advance loans to students in colleges and universities recognized in Kenya. Honorable Speaker, following placement of adverts in the print media on Friday 15th September 2023, requesting for comments on the bill from members of the public and relevant stakeholders, pursuant to Article 118(1)(b) and 196(1)(b) of the Constitution and Standing Order number 138(3), the committee received memoranda from 7 stakeholders. The committee noted that most of the amendments proposed to the bill by stakeholders were opposed to the use of the name Governor's Scholarship Scheme, which caused a lot of uproar among the stakeholders. Therefore, a need to remove the name where it appears in the bill. The stakeholders also proposed the increase of the ward education bursary allocation from 63% to 80% leaving the 20% to be shared amongst the scholarship scheme, loans, and administration cost. So on behalf of the Sectoral Committee on Education, Sports and Social Protection, and pursuant to the Standing Order number 138(4), it is my pleasant privilege and honor to present to the House the report of the Committee on its consideration of the Public Finance Management, the Turkana County Education Fund Bill. The committee is grateful to the Office of the Speaker and the Clerk of the County Assembly of Turkana for the logistical and technical support accorded to during the sitting. The committee wishes to thank all the stakeholders who submitted their comments on the bill. Finally, I wish to express my appreciation to the honorable members of the committee and the committee secretariat who made useful contributions towards the preparation and production of this report. Honorable Speaker and honorable members, here is truly the awaited report, a report that I think has a lot of interest to the House and to the members of the public. We are aware that this bill has stayed for quite long, and that a number of us and the public have been very much impatient to get the report, and this bill given the due approval for its purpose to be implemented. Aware that although some challenges may have hindered the immediate and delay of this report, of course, first it is I think at the cabinet for some time, and then when it was delivered to the assembly, it was also delayed, and I think it was because of lack of resources, and so it really reached all of us. So I am happy that this day we are here actually to what is this bill. We know that we also went for public participation, as it is lawful in the Constitution, that the public should be sensitized. The public they should be given an opportunity to give their views over what services are due for them. So we are saying that the bill has very important goodies for the community of Turkana. Let me say that initially we had what is known as the bursary. This bursary, which actually catered for post-secondary students, colleges, polytechnics, home crafts. We had that. But I think wider now, to extend these services, it was, I think, realized that there was a lot of jam, there was a lot of congestion over this bursary, and I think the county government with the initiative of the governor of Turkana, His Excellency Jeremiah Lumorkai, thought that there is need, at least of course, to create some two more bursaries. That is now bringing the so-called the governor scholarship scheme, and then also the loaning. So I think as a committee, and I think to this house, we have realized that I think this is quite better. This is a service to our people. Now, the bursary therefore, it remains as usual, that it serves the post-secondary students and colleges and other institutions recognized by the government of Kenya. Now, what are we saying here? As even from the public, the general public, who are there, I think they really realize that actually a bigger chunk of beneficiaries are in the first category. The first category is that of the bursary. This is where we have large Kenyans who need to benefit from that bursary. So with the proposals, with views of Wananchi, initially the bursary was carrying 63% of the money appropriated by the budget allocation. But I realized that since, and of course with the experience, this has not been very much enough. And so we have agreed with the recommendations and raised this to 77%. 77% from that 63. So that actually, as I say, served as the, though I know it may not be so much enough, but some were talking of 80, but of course we have these other parts which are yet remaining. But that is so far that the amount allocated to the department and the ministry, then we'll have 77% of that money going to bursary. Then the bursary also, we have the bodies such as the board, to realize that for the management of these funds, the management board is instituted, and that the chairperson will be appointed by His Excellency the Governor, and then brought to this house for hearing and approval. Also, the bursary and these other funds, and especially let me say the bursary, will have the ward bursary committee, previously known as the appraisal committee. I think we have the committees with their duties, with their roles and the functions. We also looked at what are the requirements for one to be a ward bursary committee. And it was recommended that that we will have the members appointed by sub-county education officer, but in consultation with the stakeholders, relevant stakeholders. Mark the word with consultation. So the sub-county education officer will be the appointing officer, but will have to consult the ward relevant ward education stakeholders. Now also with the qualifications, the number said that it should be, the members should be a fourth form and above, a Form 4 leaver, and the chairperson be a holder of a diploma or better. But also, I think quite a number also were disputing it and say that considering our environment, considering our communities, some words, it's not an abuse, but some words you may not find many of these characters. Maybe many of them are 844. I mean, start at 8 livers. Now, with this condition, I think it would be very, very much for that matter. But another plea was that why don't we say that we have at least one who is able to read and write. Able to read and write. Because if these consultations are to go by, then I think the stakeholders know these members. They know these members. Other than actually limiting it to full form. So, what this bill will say that give at least a member who is who knows how to read and write. And this person knows how to read and write when have gone through the system. Maybe it's a standard, it's a class A, maybe a class, but he knows how to. Because actually, when dealing with these matters, vetting, application of students, definitely a member should be able to read. You should be able to write, to know how to write. So, that is, I think, what the committee thought that as I think it's better doing it so. But the chairperson remains a person who is a little bit advanced. That is a diploma holder. We'll also have an education, award education officer as the secretary. But although it will work soon, that some wards do not have, may not have ward education officers. And I think that is very true, because some wards find that one officer mans two or so even, and some even not. So I think we say that in such a case, and then I think we also find out if there's one person, if it is maybe the teachers, the ECD teachers, what the committee will take it twice. So, of course, we'll get to know the roles and the functions of the committee. And then the governance scholarship. Honorable Speaker, the governance scholarship. The members of the public decried that naming. I think they thought it is the governor owns the scholarship. And perhaps it's something in relation to perhaps to politics. So I think the public has said that, of course, oppose it seriously and say that let's rename it. Let's rename the scholarship as Turkana County Scholarship Scheme. I think that is where we are. So the new name for that scholarship is Turkana County Scholarship Scheme. Now, what is this scholarship? This scholarship is purposely to decongest the bursary. Now that it takes into account rare skills development. Rare skills are trades, courses that are so scarce in our environment, are so scarce in Turkana County. Why? Perhaps because of high costs. Because of high costs. The costs for some courses are unaffordable for our able students who perform very well. These courses are engineering, human medicine, law, agriculture, and ICT. And currently, in Turkana County, it has also been realized that teaching has become so rare because our students have been running for commercial courses. They have been avoiding this. Not that it's very expensive. But now, the county is committed to ensuring that there is proper staffing. There is enough staffing in our institutions to enable teaching performance in our institutions. Because what has been there, Honorable Speaker, is that very few students have been going for teaching courses. And that renders this county so much vulnerable that our opportunities are taken away by our brothers outside this county. What happens? Turkana becomes a job-seeking place. So after getting the job, 6 months after, what do you call that one? 6 months later, or 1 year, these people start saying, Turkana is too hot, Turkana, the conditions are so harsh, Turkana is insecure. You see, they move away in mass numbers. So you find that so many schools do not have teachers. So if we give an opportunity to our students, if we encourage them to go for teaching course, definitely it's a solution. It's a homegrown solution. So, in fact, you all remember during our visit, Laureate, I remember that was 20th of January, when we were with the president. You remember what the president instructed our MPs? He instructed them, each constituency, to give them 100 students who want to pursue education courses. 100. I don't know how far that has been taken. 100. So with the 6 constituencies, that is 600. And he promised to pay their fees. Honourable members, we are saying that
point of information, Mr. Chair, Mr. Speaker. Honourable Speaker, I wish to inform the chairperson, even the whole house, that is the whole country.
Chair, you can take your seat.
Honourable Speaker, sir, the whole country, the whole county are watching the proceedings of this bill. And I think I want to inform the Honorable Chair and the whole House that His Excellency the President saying that he's going to sponsor only 100 students from Turkana County, not 100 students from every constituency. That one will bring a controversial discussion against His Excellency the President. So it is 100 students in the entire Turkana County. Thank you very much.
Honorable Chair.
Oh, thank you, Speaker.
Okay to be informed by the leader of minority.
Fine, I accept. I accept. I believe that. All right. That is how students perceive information in the class. Maybe I might have been dosing that particular time, but I think the point is at home, that actually that be given that consideration, that we need to encourage our brothers and sisters to go for teaching. Now, with this scholarship, that students called upon in these courses mentioned here, and others are seen as of course so rare here, that the fees given for these courses is full fees from pocket, just quite the whole fees. And but it is within the country and even outside. If a student is called outside this county to pursue these courses, of course, still is a beneficiary. So such students are given full fees. So their assessment, identification, feasibility studies to identify these students lies solely on the board. So it is just that it is not actually a grade, but those called upon to pursue these courses are considered for this scholarship. The loan, the third category is on the loan. The loans are just like the help loan that I used to have.
Honorable Chair.
Yes.
Try also to minimize the movement because we have to
Yes,
deal with this part.
I will. Thank you, sir. Thank you. So the loans as recommended here is that the best beneficiaries are those employees working with the county government and members of this assembly. The county employees of Turkana County and the members of county assembly who would wish to pursue further their education. And so, I was saying that the rate given, the percentage given to the scholarship, the county education scholarship, is 15%. 15%. Now these loans, as I say, just like any other, will be given at the interest of 3% when repaying the loan, 3%. And the percent I'm given to this loan is 5%. 5% of all the monies appropriated to the department. And then we also have the administration cost. The administration cost, of course, is 3%. The administration cost is 3%. So you realize that, as I said, actually the bill has goodies, has good things for our people. It has good things for our people. Of course, I want to say that we want to appreciate the stakeholders. Quite a good number of stakeholders joined us after the public participation. There was public engagement, which of course seven groups of course presented their memorandums, presented their views, which was so much valued. We really thought it was so much wonderful, which of course I may not because it is already developed and that members can expose themselves. And I just want to say, which were these groups, the stakeholders that joined us. I say that we had the refugee, the Department of Education, Sports and Social Protection. We had the Refugee Consortium of Kenya. We had Kenya Secondary Schools Health Association. We also had Turkana Development Trust. We had Turkana Civil Society and Turkana Gender and Child Protection. We had Kenya Union of Teachers and Puppet. We also had people living with disability, and this round we are saying people able differently. Honorable Speaker, we had these stakeholders who joined during day on engagement, and of course they gave us very valued inputs, views, which of course we accommodated. So I want to say that all went well, and I want to say that the bill has good things, just good things for this community. And because that is our interest, because that is our mandate, that it is my humble request, humbly and kindly requesting that this House approves this bill, Turkana County Education Bill 2023. And I want to thank everybody who sacrificed, especially the Central Committee, the Secretariat, and members whom we even co-opted. I want to tell you, they were very wonderful. Very wonderful. The speaker, the clerk, I think, given us that opportunity, the logistical aspect of it, we wouldn't have gone far, wouldn't have brought this report here this day if it were not for the efforts of all these people whom I want to thank them very much. Honorable Speaker, sir, the interest of time, I want to request the House to approve this. So I want to request Honorable Samuel Lomodo, MCA, Lokicha to second. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. Honorable Speaker, sir, with your due permission, I raise to second the Second County Education Fund Bill 2023. Honorable Speaker, it's on record that this bill is repealing the Turkana County Education Fund Act that was approved in Result of House in 2014 and I think was blocked by the High Court sometimes in 2018. Most of the bills, most of the acts that were approved, I think did not make the threshold. And that is why the Lord High Court annul the acts that were approved in this act. Honorable Speaker, second reading of any debate is a debate on acceptance of the broad provisions of the bill.
What's your point of order? Majority? Honorable Moore, take the seat.
Speaker,
He's standing on which order?
so Speaker, I stand standing order number
Mr. Speaker,
100 that you need to be factual when you are presenting any issue in this house. So Speaker, it is very clear that there is no act that was annulled by the Lord High Court. That is factual and it should be clear. So we should not really mislead the House by talking of acts that have been annulled by the Lord High Court. That is misleading. It is sham and misleading. We want something that is right to be given to members for consumption. I think that is what I wanted to put across, Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
okay, indeed, you are supposed to state the standing order on which you are raising. Though you are very right that there was no act annulled by the court. Instead, it was the settlement that was not done and both the time were allowed. So that act died naturally. So Honorable Samuel Mohammed proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. Honorable Speaker, sir, I accept the guidance by the leader of my bill. Honorable Speaker, sir, I say that I raise to second the second reading of this bill. Honorable Speaker, sir, it is on this stage that we are supposed even to introduce the amendments of this bill. This is the long-awaited bill, Honorable Speaker, by the residents of the county of Turkana. We have many of our students who are at home as a result of school fees. Most of them have been chased by the principals who may not understand the challenges that the great people of Turkana are going through. Even as we do commitment letters at the ward level, those letters are not respected by those principals because they don't believe that they will get allocation, they will get funds to run their institutions. I have stood to second the second reading of this bill because of the objects and the purpose of this act, of this bill, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, if you check on the objects of this act, the object of this act is to establish the Turkana County Education Fund. Specifically, the act shall make provisions for funds to be used for granting bursaries to assist needy students to pursue education at eligible institutions. Honorable Speaker, we understand that most of our students come from humble background. And it's unless we approve this bill, that is when those needy students can access those bursaries. Honorable Speaker, sir, if you check on Part B, the funds to be used to award scholarships to needy students admitted in eligible institutions to pursue rare skills, and funds to be used to advance loans to students in colleges and universities. Honorable Speaker, if you check on this bill has set aside monies that are going to be given to the students from Turkana County, so that they can have a learning scheme within this bill. Honorable Speaker, sir, you also check on this same bill, we've got some monies that are going to be that have been set aside to support the rare skills. Honorable Speaker, sir, we've got rare skills that have been tapped in Turkana County. We've got very less engineers in Turkana County. We have got very less surveyors in Turkana County. We have got very less medicine students in Turkana County. Once we approve this bill at this second stage and even do it an act, Honorable Speaker, we will have enough resources to support the Turkana students get access to scholarships. Honorable Speaker, sir, on the sources of the fund for this bill, Part 6, Section, that is Part 6, Subsection 1 says that the sources of the fund shall be money appropriated by the county assembly, which shall be less than 2% of the county annual appropriated budget. Honorable Speaker, sir, I have a concern on that part. Even as I second the second reading of this bill. Honorable Speaker, sir, if you check on the amount of money Turkana County receives from the exchequer, Turkana County at times receives, let's say, 12 billion. If you check, if you work on 2% of 12 billion, that one tells you that this fund is supposed to receive something like 240 million. Honorable Speaker, sir, I think we will have to do an amendment on that part, that the percentage here has to be increased. And also, as the percentage is increased, we also need to check on the ceilings. We also need to check on the ceilings, on
point information, Speaker.
What do you want to inform?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I wish to inform the Speaker that the bill says at least 2%.
Inform the Speaker or the member who was on the floor.
I am speaking through the Speaker, informing the member who will be the floor after I speak, that the bill says at least 2% of the money appropriated to the county government is what will be allocated for this fund. So it doesn't mean that that's the list. It can even be 5, it can be 10, and all that. So,
thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, the bill here, the bill says that which shall be not less than, I think I've not had anything to do with the values. Not less than 2% of the county annual appropriated budget. Honorable Speaker, if you check on the source of the fund of this bill, that was where my point was. We've got monies that are going to be received as a result of the amount of money that are going to be appropriated by the Turkana County Assembly. You also check on the capital and interest repaid for the loans granted by the board. This bill, once approved, will be receiving interest from the amounts of money that will be, that will be given to the students who are willing to get loans for the same bill. Honorable Speaker, sir, this bill has also elaborated on monies that will be borrowed by the board with the consent of the county executive member for the purposes of the fund. We also check on the donation. That is why I wanted to give my submission. That this bill has given a provision for donations, endowments, bequests, grants, gifts from individuals, public and private entities, local or foreign. Honorable Speaker, sir, we have many stakeholders in this county who support education. It will be so great that if they support education, they bring all their resources that they have, especially when it comes to issues of bursaries. They bring those support in terms of donations. Honorable Speaker, sir, this bill has made it very clear that it will receive donations, it will receive even individual and even public and private entities support once it's been approved. Honorable Speaker, also as you check on the management of the fund, that all monies that are going to be received by the fund shall be maintained in a separate account in the name of the Turkana County Education Fund, open and administered in accordance with the provisions of Public Finance Management Act 2012. Honorable Speaker, once this money has been requested, we will not be having delay in disbursement of these funds to students. Because once the fund is being opened and the requisition is being done by the County Executive Committee member, that is the Finance Department, we will be disbursing monies in time. So that part of monies being received by this fund being maintained in a separate bank account in the name of the Turkana County Education Fund is one of the reasons why I also support the second reading of this bill. Honorable Speaker, finally, as I sit down, it is on the issue of the application and the award process. This bill has elaborated on the criteria of any student or any person who is willing to get monies from this fund should follow. And if you check on that is the application and award process, that is page 8 of this bill. It says that all eligible students from the ward bursary shall be required to collect application forms from the ward offices free of charge. Honorable Speaker, sir, this one is so interesting. And I wish that even the Department of Education will provide those application forms for free at the ward offices. At the same time, if you check on the second part, the duly completed application forms accompanied with all requirements, attachments, signed and sealed, shall be returned, received, dated, inserted into application box at the ward administrator's office. If you check on the application and the award process, this bill has stipulated it very, very clearly. Finally, if you check on that part of the governor's scholarship scheme, I also want to support, as I second this bill, support the amendments that the public had raised, that this scholarship scheme should not be the governor's scholarship scheme. This one should be the Turkana County Rare Skills Scholarship Scheme. Because once you say it is going to be an MCS scheme, once you say it's going to be a governor's scheme, then it turns to be a political scheme. So, and regimes come and regimes go. So once we have it as the Turkana County Rare Skills Scholarship Scheme, I think it will be for the entire Turkana County. Also, I think this bill, which I don't say that I've read it, I've read that part. I don't know on these monies that are supposed to be managed under the governor's scholarship scheme. I don't know whether this bill, and I think, Chair, when you stand to reply on that part, I've said that I second this bill, yes, but I will be so happy to hear on who is going to manage this scholarship scheme that will be in the office of the governor or in the Department of Education. It will be so good that the Turkana people and even the honorable members in this committee understand who are going to be the committee members in that part of the governor's scheme, the way they say. Thank you, Honorable Speaker, sir. I sit down as I second the second reading of this bill, the Turkana County Education Fund Bill 2023. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
That's in order. Honorable members, now I want to propose the question, this motion of the bill, that the Turkana County Education Fund Bill 2023 be read for the second time.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the second reading of the Turkana County Education Fund Bill 2023. Mr. Speaker, we need to fast track this process because we are already late. I know most of our students, they are out of school, and a good number of them are going to be denied to sit for their last semester exams. And Mr. Speaker, sir, this is a disservice to our students. And Mr. Speaker, now that this bill is here with us, I want to support its second reading. Mr. Speaker, on the issue of the percentages in this bill, Mr. Speaker, a lot of resources have to be put in the bursary, Mr. Speaker. Reducing the bursary, we may not achieve the intended objective and purpose of this bill, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we know the poverty levels of the Turkana people is very high. So, and the only reward that we can give to our Turkana people is bursaries so that they can educate their children, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the bill is saying the match that will be allocated for bursaries will be not more than, it's going to be 2% of the county budget. Mr. Speaker, 2% is very low. In the last act, we have said at least 3% of the county allocation. That was the match that was allocated for the Turkana County Education and Skills Development Fund, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, reducing it to 2% or saying not less than 2% is going to be a disservice to the members of our county, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, you know, for quite some time, our people have been very dependent on pastorism. as their main livelihood. Mr. Speaker, because of the issue of the climate change, things have changed. The livestock numbers have reduced greatly, and most of the children of the households have embraced education, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, and for us to make sure that the children of the households attain the higher levels of education, we need to increase the amount meant for county bursaries, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the figures can even be raised to at least 4% of the county budget. Mr. Speaker, on those other categories, the bigger chunk of the resources meant for bursaries have to go for a bursary. Let's talk of 75% or even 80% to be allocated for the county bursary. Let the other two, the ones which have been proposed in this bill, the governor's scholarship and the loans, let's have some smaller percentage so that as time goes, as we will be observing the management of those funds, we will consider reviewing the law so that we can allocate some substantive resources to the governor's scholarship and the loans. Mr. Speaker, the issue of the loans, I don't know whether the Central Committee of Education, Sports and Social Protection have made some comparisons on now the current arrangement for health, the one that has been mainstreamed by the national government. I don't know whether they have borrowed heavily from that other new arrangement, because, Mr. Speaker, we are aware there are some changes which have been made in the health, or now the health is going to be administered. So what is going to happen to the proposal before us, the one that is contained in the Turkana County Education Fund Bill? So are we still employing the same whole, the whole arrangements that have been used by health, or are there new ways that have been borrowed from the current new arrangement on how health is going to be administered? Mr. Speaker, that is my concern because as the national government is trying to come up with policies, we in the counties, we are also supposed to replicate those policies and pieces of legislation so that they may not conflict with our county laws, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the other issue that I would want to raise is the composition of the ward appraisal committees. Mr. Speaker, in the bill, there is the representation of the principals in the bill. Mr. Speaker, looking at that bill, there are some key categories of people which have been left out. Like now, the representation of the marginalized groups in wards. Mr. Speaker, there are some wards which are cosmopolitan in nature. So by us not having their representatives in the ward appraisal committees is going to be a disservice to that section of the population, Mr. Speaker. So how I wish now that we are having a representative of a person who has a better understanding of education issues, being one of the members, we can drop the issue of the principal representatives in the ward, and we replace it with the very person representing the marginalized groups within the wards. Mr. Speaker, otherwise, with those few remarks, I see it as I support the second reading of the Turkana County Education Fund Bill 2023. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable members, reading the rule of grounds, I call the motion mover to make a reply. The second reading of the bill.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, Honorable members. I wish to give reply to the very, very important issues as raised by members. It is indeed true that this long-awaited bill has caused a lot of harm and good to our daughters, our sons. It is very, very true. But you know what I say, better late than never. I think that we are now, we late, but that is why we are saying that give us an okay, give this the bill an okay by approving it. We will save the situation though late. It is true that the objects and the purpose of this bill is clearly given, that those categories which I have mentioned, it is that clear, and that rare skills have been given an opportunity, or students who have been disadvantaged just because of the costs. The fees in most of these technical courses, it has been very much unaffordable, and that we appreciate that this initiative has come, and that our students now who pursue these courses will definitely soon actually well. We've said sources, and sources are there, which of course have been mentioned. One of it is, we're going to mention that the money appropriated by the county budget to the department, that is one steady source. We have, we've got these stakeholders, the NGOs and so forth, faith-based, and that they should be lobbied, they should be mobilized so that they fatten this account, this fund. The percentage appropriated for this department, truly, in the bill, it says that it is not less than 2%. But what has been recommended here is not less than 4%. Not less than 4%, and not less than 2%. 4% for your information. Management. The management is solely on the board. The board that is constituted, that we will approve, will vet the chairperson. That board is in charge of all these monies for this fund. So we will see. Because one believes that the composition, as realized here, I think very, very key person, very important person. And I think we will not, let's worry less, because we want to trust that the board that will be constituted will actually manage these funds. Brother, Brother Honorable Mike, it is true. Do you realize that the delay has really disadvantaged our brothers, our sisters? It is true. Because truly, many students depend so much on the bursaries. Because some are totally orphans. Total orphans. No father, no mother. So, and some are really desperate. So, we actually say that a delay of this fund, bursary, has really disadvantaged these children. And you know, that will even affect their performance. So we are in agreement. We are in agreement, and that is why I'm saying better late than never. Here we are, and things will work. And then it is true, the allocation for these bursaries, for these categories, we've said that the largest part, more than 3/4, goes for bursaries. And we put it at, some members were proposing on 80. So it is up to us. We had come up to 77. So what this house will also give would be the room. So we said 77, and then the county, Turkana County scholarship scheme goes 15, goes second. That's 15%. The loans go for 5%. Because we are giving it 5 because, you know, this is a revolving. Once given, then it will start generating interest. So once, even if we start at 5, of course, we want to believe that as the beneficiary will start repaying back and with interest, so it will be self-sustaining. So it is 5 for 5 for loans, and then 3% for administration costs. Although there was also outcry, and when the education department was also presenting that there is a lot. There is a lot to be done in the administration of this, the committees and all these things, trainings and all this. But I am convinced that it should not be more than 3. So I think we had it there. Then we say that the loans. I think the criteria, regulations governing these loans are there. They will be established. So I think I am pretty sure that they might have copied. They might have benchmarked with the help in the national government. So it is just borrowed. We might have borrowed a little. It's only that it is here at the county. But I want to believe that the criteria, regulations for loans are there, and I think will be very much of help. The composition of the ward committee, I think that one also is fairly distributed. Of course, the legislation of Acacia, we not adopted that. We never took that into consideration. We never took consideration of the Acacia as they requested. So I think we were saying that we perhaps talk of somebody who is informed, who is knows education very well, maybe within that ward. So with the guidance and that concentration, I think we also look at who will take that part on the secondary heads association. Honorable Speaker, I am happy that honorable members are almost giving a nod on this. I'm very happy, I'm sure. So I want to sit as I reply. Thank you.
Honourable members, this motion of the bill having been replied and of course seconded, and now put the question that the Turkana County Education Fund 2023 be read for the second time. As many as would like to do it, say aye.
Aye.
As many as of the contrary opinion, say nay. The ayes have it. Honourable members, as a guide, you have proposed a number of amendments to this particular bill. That must be reflected when the bill proceeds the next step and the committee of the board. We should be available with your amendments. Remember, honourable members, we are making law for society. It should be reflected in the law. So it should not be said as normal motions. During the committee of the whole, you must present your amendments. That is very important. And the honourable chair, maybe after this, you have your committee also to look for any other things the members have proposed. But during the committee of the whole, we will all be there so that we ensure this bill is really looked into by the honourable members and it is made to suit the interests of the public, of the residents of the country. Thank you, honourable members. Next order.
Order number 10, Bill. The Turkana County Animal Health Bill 2023, second reading.
The Honourable William Samad.
Thank you, Speaker. I stand to send before this House for second reading the Turkana County Animal Health Bill 2023. Honorable Speaker, the committee, the Turkana County Animal Health Bill 2023 was presented before this House on 1st March 2023. The principal purpose of this bill is to give effect to the fourth schedule of the Constitution of Kenya with regards to the county government mandate on animal control and welfare and management of county health services, which includes veterinary services. The bill provides for measures to promote animal health and welfare and control animal diseases. Mr. Speaker, in addition, the bill provides for legal institutions framework to promote animal health and welfare. The committee held several meetings to analyze the bill, called stakeholders together, and did all that was required pursuant to Article 196 of the Constitution of Kenya and Standing Order number 138 of the Turkana County Assembly Standing Orders. And the committee also undertook public participation throughout the county and notified the public of public participation exercise, which started from 11 September to 13 September 2023. The committee also undertook stakeholder engagements and received 2 memoranda. On behalf of this committee, we wish to thank the Speaker of this County Assembly, the clerk's office, and all those that assisted us. And then on behalf of this committee, I wish, it is my pleasure to table the report of the committee for its consideration so as this bill becomes the Turkana County Animal Health Act 2020. Honorable Speaker, since this report is available on our iPads, I would plead with you that I only read relevant parts or stress relevant parts so as we save on time, as it is not 100 that we read verbatim one word to word.
Of course, you know the book very well. What you do, you go the opposite from the bill, because you understand how the bill is and all the key parts of the bill. You don't need to go through the whole thing.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That is what I am going to do. Honorable Speaker, this animal health bill is divided into 7 parts, but I wish to give the overview of this bill, and then a few other parts, just as you have guided. Honorable Chair, Honorable Speaker, before I give overview, I wish to inform the members that the house that we had memorandum from three interested parties, that is Association of Donkey Owners of Kenya, Department of Veterinary Services, and Public Fuels from the Turkana West, Turkana Central, Loima, and Turkana South. I wish to give the overview of this bill. The Turkana County Animal Health Bill 2023 has these objects. 1, give effect to provision of the first schedule as indicated. The second overview is that it enhances and expands the provision of veterinary services in this county in collaboration with other stakeholders. It also establishes and maintains financial sustainable mechanism for the provision and control of animal diseases in this county. Honorable Speaker, another important fact about this bill is that it also provides for animal disease and effective control management in all livestock markets in this county. It also seeks to establish an mechanism for reporting of observable signs of animal diseases from community level. In addition to that, the bill also seeks to maintain the requisite public health standards for the prevention of the spread of zoonotic diseases. It also promotes the use of technology in developing breeding programs. Once this bill is passed into an act, it will also promote the highest attainable standards of animal welfare in Turkana County. Second, lastly, it also seeks to enhance the research, training, and capacity development in the animal health sector. And finally, it also seeks to improve the county's regional, inter-country, and inter-county collaboration in control of management of transboundary diseases. Honorable Speaker, there are guiding values and principles for this bill. The first one is that the executive committee member, the department, the directorate, or any entity or person, and any other person administering or applying this act once it is passed into an act, shall be guided by the following principles and values. 1, we have done public participation, flexibility, social-cultural values, sustainability, and all that. Having read the guidelines, I now wish to go over briefly go over the main points that we wish to be included or to be discussed, so as when we have the committee of the whole, members are already aware of part of this. We have said that we invited we got memorandum from we got from the veterinary services, we got also from the association, Dangi Association of Kenya, and also from the public participation. We didn't take all the recommendations because these recommendations were going to affect this bill in such a way that we were going to make sure that we had amendments. However, the Department of Veterinary Services added their recommendations, including that they wanted the definition authorized officer to be explained to mean officer registered by the Kenya Veterinary Board employed by the county government deployed to various parts of the county to monitor animal diseases. These amendments, they wanted it to be amended and the committee agreed on that. We also looked at clause 13 and 14. Clause 13 and 14 was requested to be deleted and the committee accepted because the committee was satisfied by justification and accepted the proposal. Since this part takes care of what we call community disease reporters. The community disease reporters had not been indicated in the parent bill. But this was requested by the professionals whom we call the Veterinary Services Association, and we agreed on that. Article 17 brought in the issue of community disease reporters, and their functions are written down there, which I also beg not to read because they are also available on our iPads.
Honorable Chair, for purposes of record, we don't have articles in this particular case. We have the sections. Articles don't have in the constitution. So when it goes on record that we are finding articles, we may not be rightfully using that one. Proceed.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. So, functions of the animal health reporters are generally listed also, as I have just said. The committee, that is Article 20. Article 20 also was accepted to be amended because Article 20, the committee agreed that not only the proposed amendment introduces a clarification on the appointment roles, remuneration of community animal disease reporter, which was recently in the bill, just as I said. The same is also explained. Clause 24 was deleted, and this calls for amendment which we have requested, which we have already prepared. We have indicated among the amendments that we wish to be done. And another thing that was introduced was impounding of animals grazing alongside roads in urban areas as the first schedule, and that one indicates if animals are roaming, if an animal is caught and it is going to be kept for some time, there is a fee per animal, cattle 100 per head, sheep or a goat 50 shillings per head, dogs 500 shillings per head, pigs 500 shillings per head. A donkey will also attract 50 shillings per head for impounding. Poultry 100 shillings per head. And then also if these animals are kept or stored, there are charges also as indicated. This bill seeks to do this so as it makes sure that animals are reduced from roaming within towns, major towns of Lodwar, Kakuma, Lokichogyo, and Lokicha. Honorable Speaker, the bill also in part 2 introduces penalty for slaughtering animals outside the slaughterhouses. Honorable Speaker, the main reason why we have this bill is one, to improve animal health and also to control diseases. By controlling slaughter of animals, this one means that the public health officers, veterinary officers are going to take care of this. Therefore, anybody who slaughters an animal outside the demarcated areas or areas earmarked for that, like slaughterhouses, will also have a fine. That is, if somebody slaughters a cow outside the designated slaughterhouses, such a person is going to pay 200 shillings per head. If it is a goat or a sheep, 1,000 shillings per head. If it is a camel, the perpetrator of that act is going to pay 5,000 shillings. Likewise to the donkey. So if somebody slaughters a donkey outside the slaughterhouse, that person is going to pay 5,000 shillings per donkey. And then about livestock slaughter, that one is also self-explanatory. Just as we have said that any person found slaughtering livestock outside the designated slaughterhouses shall be liable to pay a penalty as prescribed in the foregoing schedule that we have just read. So the committee agreed with these recommendations. Speaker, during public participations, we came generally about concerns. We came across concerns given by the public, and these concerns were really very valid. I may not read all of them, but the most important is that the committee also observed that the provisions of clause 9 purpose repose to establish a fund to be known as animal health fund, but the provisions the provisions are scanty on the management of the fund. So the animal health bill proposes to have a fund taking care of animals, but the management provisions are also scanty. So, however, the committee noted that there is no need of creating a special purpose fund because this is what some stakeholders say, but instead the department has its own budget of associated issues to do with animal health and disease control. Honorable Speaker, during public participation, it was very clear that the bill designates that no slaughter of animals will be done outside the slaughterhouses. This also included ceremonies like weddings. If it is a wedding, that meant that somebody, an inspector would come and inspect that. So the committee found it through public participation that it was very difficult. So the participants noted that there are a number of provisions that regulate slaughter animals and disposal of the carcasses. The members of the public noted that the authorized officers are not easily accessible. The slaughterhouses are only found in major towns, and this will make it hard to implement the law. The public also noted that there is no provision in the bill to provide for compensation of members of the public in cases of outbreak of diseases. The members suggested inclusion of compensation measures to the public in cases of animal diseases. So these are part of the views that were given by the public. Another view given by the public and your Honorable Speaker is that during the public participation, some members were downcast. The public were downcast because even what they were given for transport and accommodation and out of pocket was so little. So we made it very rough even to make them give their own views. However, that one did not prevent the committee from going on with its work. There were proposed amendments, Honorable Speaker. Clause 13 was proposed for amendment. That is proposed categorization of clause to provide establishment of ward animal health. Ward animal health committee, composition of the committee, functions of the committee, and reporting structure and compensation of the committee. That is one amendment that the committee also saw to be worthwhile to be included there. And then clause 16 so as to put something like in each ward we have inspectors. Clause 27, it was also proposed that the communities and different clans have a system to trace their animals. So each clan already has its own identification mark instead of just one common identification mark. Clause 27, clause 33, clause 33, we requested, the committee requested that donkeys, camels, and cows be added to the list of prohibited animals. The fine was proposed to be reduced from 200,000 to 20,000 and the term of imprisonment reduced from 2 years to 3 months in prison. Just in case somebody is caught slaughtering those animals without permission. And then a fine was also requested that it should be replaced from 500,000 to 5,000. Honorable Speaker, as I finish, I would like to read the recommendations of the committee. After carrying out public participation, stakeholder engagement, and having meetings with the honorable members, the committee, having considered the Turkana County Animal Health Bill 2023, recommends that the House approves the bill with amendments as proposed in the schedule. And I have indicated the scheduled amendments, that is clause 2, which I believe, Mr. Speaker, that we are going to deal with during the committee of the whole House. That is clause 2, that the bill amended by adding the following new definition: authorized officer means an officer registered by the Kenya Veterinary Board, employed by the county government and deployed to various parts of the county as an animal to monitor animal disease. I have also mentioned others like that the definition of immature cattle be amended to read: immature cattle, donkey or camel means cattle, donkey or camel, male or female, under the age of 6 months or not having 4 permanent incisors teeth yet erupted. Another amendment is that the bill be amended by deleting the definition of county animal disease report and establishing substituting therefore with the following new definition: community animal disease reporter means a person who is a member of the community appointed under section 16A. And then lastly, the fourth amendment, that the bill be amended by deleting the definition of the word notifiable disease and substituting therefore with the following new definition: notifiable disease means any animal disease that is required by the law to be reported to government authorities, and the collection of the information allows the authorities to monitor the disease and provide early warning of possible outbreak. This includes cattle plague or rinderpest, anthrax, contagious bovine pneumonia, tuberculosis, East Coast fever, exotic or ulcerative liver, rabies, foot and mouth disease, sheeppox, scale swine fever, swine, erysipelas, glanders, falces, sura, and all those others. Committee members may, on the advice of the director, declare by notice in a gazette to be a notifiable disease for the purpose of this act. We have those other articles, I have said clause 4 and all those. And then we also introduce new clauses. A new clause 17, that the bill be amended by inserting the following clauses immediately after clause 16. Appointment of the community disease reporters. That is 16A, the executive committee member, in consultation with the Department of Veterinary Services and other stakeholders, shall recruit, train, and deploy community animal reporters from each ward in the country. This clause had not been included, yet the same act was talking about, the same bill was talking about community animal disease reporters, which even the county government is in the process of giving a stipend. So it would not be possible to have them without a legal underpinning. And then also the functions of the animal health reporters have been indicated. We recommend that is part of the amendment. And then also remuneration of animal health, remuneration of community animal health reporters. That is in clause 24, clause 35, 37, and also include a new schedule, that is schedule 24, to include what is supposed to be paid as a penalty by anybody who allows his animals to roam or slaughters an animal outside the slaughterhouse. And with this, Honorable Speaker, I try to take the shortest time possible. I call upon Honorable Alvin Rotendale to second.
The Honorable Alphonse Okelel, Honorable Member of the Assembly.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise the second reading of Animal Health Bill. Mr. Speaker, we all know that this bill has taken quite long, and we are happy that it has actually reached this stage. Mr. Speaker, we are cognizant of the importance of this bill. And actually, Mr. Speaker, this bill looks into matters of livestock diseases control and management. As we know that, Mr. Speaker, our Turkana County is a first county that is bordering other three countries of the northern part. And it's prudent that we have established laws actually on control of diseases, as our animals at times move across the border and fortunately or unfortunately contract diseases from other countries. And that just to control, to avoid further enhancement of the diseases, there should be a law that guarantees inspection of these animals once they are back into the country, just to deter further effects of the diseases. Number two, this bill offers or provides recruitment of community disease reporters. As we are aware that the department is grappling with the staff that are experts in disease control and management. And so it's prudent that the bill provides an opportunity for the department to recruit from the community or from the pastoralists themselves, the people known as disease control, community disease control or reporters. That enhances reporting approach. That is quick response on identified disease. That will enable the department or any other officer that is an expert to respond to the immediate reported disease by the community or at the community level. Mr. Speaker, there is the creation of the fund, Animal Health Fund. Mr. Speaker, this fund plays a major role on sourcing of funds that will cater for the stipends meant to motivate the community disease reporters, because it is quite important that we actually recognize the importance of these people and the efforts they are putting to ensure that they are moving with the animals, or they once they report that there is a disease identified in a certain area, they are facilitated to reach there so as to ascertain whatever disease, nature of the disease, and actually report. Or if they are in possession of any medics, then they can actually do the necessary. So it's important that they are given morale, they are given stipends, monthly stipends, and that is the purpose of the Animal Health Fund. Mr. Speaker, I talked about the inspectors, and the major role of inspectors is actually to inspect animals while alive, so as to know whether that animal should be actually put if actually it's infected animal, should either be put aside, that's what we call separated from other animals, quarantine, so as to deter further infection to other animals, or the butchered animal, if that meat is for human consumption. So it is therefore important that this bill gives opportunity to the County Public Service Board to recruit these technical officers so as to aid in actually ensuring the meat that is actually consumed by the Turkana community is healthy. With a few remarks, I second the bill. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honourable members, I now want to propose a question to motion number 10 of the bill, Turkana County Animal Health Bill 2023, second reading. Yes, the honourable member representing Lopur.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this important opportunity to also support this second reading of Animal Health Bill, which actually has been put into the floor. My reason for support is one, and a very important one. When you talk about health, health is one important thing that is critical for both human beings and the animals. And the reason why we need to fast track it, because since our entry into this house, 2022-2023, the chairman for agriculture has been championing for this bill to go through, and it has really taken a long time. And I hope and I believe that this is the time it is going now to be materialized. And very well, we've heard about the President also of the Republic of Kenya talking about universal health care. When you talk about universal health care, it's about all of us being taken care of in terms of health. When actually we talk of human health care and we forget animal health care, then there will be a rotation of diseases coming around, and we will all be both affected. So I want to support it by indicating that in the same time when we talk about universal health care, let's also talk about prevention of it through animals diseases that are now going through. And in most cases we've been talking about this disease importance and the surveillance of the same. So I would want to urge the House to support it for the second reading, so that we move on putting it into practice. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Asante sana Bwana Kinara. Ninashukuru sana kwa kunipa nafasi ili nikaweze kuunga mjadala ya siku ya leo juu ya wanyama wetu. Kulingana na hii bill, ninaunga mkono kwa sababu ninajua sisi tukiwa wafugaji katika Turkana County tumekuwa na changamoto sana, kwa sababu hatukuwa na sheria ambayo inasimamia mambo ya wafugaji ama ya wanyama wetu, kupitia kwa magonjwa na pia kupitia katika biashara ama uuzaji wa nyama. Kwa hivyo ninaunga mkono ili kusudi tuweze kuunga mkono, tupitishe hii sheria ambayo itaweza kusaidia sisi katika mjadala huu. Ya pili, tunajua ya kwamba katika Turkana County sisi tukiwa wafugaji, sisi hatuna madaktari ambayo wanasaidia sisi kule mashinani kusaidia mifugo zetu, kuangalia mambo ya magonjwa na pia kuhudumia wafugaji kule mashinani kwa hali ya kupeana madawa. Ndio tuko na hao madaktari ambayo wanashughulika kule, lakini hatukuwa na sheria ambayo inawasimamia, ambayo pia inawatambua ya kwamba hata hawa ni muhimu wakiwa pale wakileta ripoti za magonjwa katika wizara za mifugo. Kwa hivyo tukiwa na hii sheria katika hili nyumba ama katika ministry ama tukipitisha, itatusaidia kwa identify magonjwa kwa haraka na pia kupatia nguvu wale madaktari zetu wale wako mashinani, kwa sababu tuko na madaktari ambayo wameweza kufundishwa na makampuni mengi sana na wanafanya hiyo kazi wakijitolea, na hakuna kitu ambayo ilikuwa inawatambua. Kwa hivyo Bwana Kinara, hii mjadala ni muhimu sana na lazima tuunge mkono tukiwa MCS wa hili nyumba. Ya mwisho, tunajua ya kwamba katika Turkana County sisi tuko na wanyama wengi, tuko na ngamia, tuko na ng'ombe, tuko na mbuzi, tuko na kondoo na pia tuko na punda. Lakini haijasimamishwa kwamba hii nyama yetu ya Turkana inastahili kutengenezwa ama tuwe na factory ya nyama ambayo tunaweza kupeana hii chakula, hata hii nyama kupreserve na kukua imported kwa zile countries zingine. Ni kwa sababu hakuna mtu ameweka sheria na kugagua nyama zetu na kujua kwamba inastahili kama zile nyama za zile wanyama ya nchi zingine. Labda ile kitu itatusaidia ni kwamba tukiweka hii sheria na tupitishe, itasaidia wale watu wetu kama madaktari ya mashinani hata kupewa mshahara kidogo, kwa sababu hawana kitu, wanavolunteer kwa hii miaka yote na wanatembea na mifugo, wanafika hata Uganda, wanafika Sudan na wanajitolea. Kwa hivyo tukiweka hii sheria, nafikiri watakuwa wanapata hata at least kitu ya kuweka kwa mdomo. Kwa hivyo kwa haya machache, naomba tuunge mkono ili tukaweze kupitisha kwa hii second reading. Asante sana Bwana Kinara.
Sawa kabisa. So, reading the mood of the house, I invite the Honorable Architect. You want something?
I just want to thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Okay, let me just grant you that chance because I was confused.
Yes.
Motion over.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for considering granting me a chance to say something. Mr. Speaker, I rise to support the second reading of the Turkana County Animal Health Bill 2023. And Mr. Speaker, I want to say that this is a bill that has been long overdue. I think it has come at the right time, considering that we are a pastoral community. I think it becomes very significant that we have a bill that governs our operations as a pastoral community. Mr. Speaker, there are a number of issues that the bill is highlighting, which are paramount importance to the Turkana person. Issues to do with the community animal health, animal disease reporters is very key. That is akin to the CFPs, or the ones we call community health promoters, who deal with specifically human health issues. These ones particularly are for our livestock. sound alarm whenever diseases have erupted in a certain locality, Mr. Speaker, so that the department in charge of livestock can be able to promptly respond, so that our livestock are really taken care of and we don't end up losing our livestock through diseases, because that is our sole source of livelihood, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I support this bill, and one thing I would want to raise, I had some penalties being proposed on people who slaughter certain livestock outside butchers, Mr. Speaker. And I want to say that the other day we passed a finance bill in this house, and I don't want us to come to a place where we create conflicting laws. I think it becomes very important that we refer to the finance bill, so that even as we propose charges to certain law offenders or breakers, or those guys who break certain provisions of the law, there has to be seen that we are consistent with the different laws that are in place. So I want to invite this House to consider comparing, or rather referring to the finance bill, so that it is only that which is proposed in the finance bill that we are going to suggest as a penalty in the annual bill to avoid the laws that we create, to avoid conflict. Those few remarks, Mr. Speaker, I beg to support. Thank you.
Honorable Chairperson, motion over. You can now reply.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. May I first of all take this chance to thank all the members for supporting this bill, and especially those ones who spoke and raised some issues. It is really indeed true, as Honorable Gilbert of course said, that sometimes animal diseases and human diseases affect both animals and human beings. So it is just good. The issue of this bill is to make sure that our animals are safe for our consumption. They are also safe for other activities, like even cultural activities. And we are also safe because if we eat an animal that is healthy, it means that we will also not get diseases from these animals. The issue of community animal disease reporters has been emphasized by our honorable member, nominated specially elected member Dorcas Ekusie, and she has actually emphasized that our livelihood is actually taken on pastoralism. And with that, that is why it is very important to have what we call community animal disease reporters, who are also enumerated. Although they may not be paid per se, it is just good that they are given a stipend, so they keep on being encouraged, and this bill is also taking care of that. She also talked about our meat not actually fetching much in markets, or we have not even tried to venture apart from the Lomidat factory that tried to produce and to give and to slaughter animals and then take meat for consumption within our country. We haven't ventured into this, and one of the reasons is actually that it has not been certified or ascertained that our animals are free of diseases. So when we have the community animal disease reporters operating under what we call the animal, by then it will be Turkana County Animal Health Act. It will mean that meat from our animals that come from Turkana is free of diseases. It will also mean that it will have just like fish and all that. So that one is also going to be taken care of. And then once we have taken care of the animal disease bill, it will also mean that other things like having our supporting our other trials, giving and funding for our livestock production products and all that will be given an upper hand. Honorable Anaclet raised a very pertinent issue, that one of making sure that the animal health bill, especially where we talk of money, goes alongside, does not antagonize the finance bill. This is indeed true, but it is also noteworthy that money given here indicated as penalties is actually just as a fine, and they go to a certain fund. You know, we also have what we call, we are creating what we call Turkana County Animal Fund, so that any monies collected in form of fines, in form of donations, just goes to that fund. And of course, we are very much sure, we are very much careful not to create fines or allocate much money that is going to collide with what we have already tried to do in Finance Bill 2023. And alongside that, I just need to thank you once again for making sure that this thorn that has always been in my flesh is almost getting out, because this bill has been around for a very long time. So I'm very grateful, and with this,
That's in order. Our members, now this particular motion, having been concluded by reply, the motion memo, I now put the question that Turkana County Animal Health Bill 2023 now be read for the second time. As many as that opinion say aye.
Aye.
As many as the common opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Clerk, you can read the long title of the bill.
The Turkana County Animal Health Bill 2023, a bill for an act of the County Assembly of Turkana to provide for measures to promote animal health and welfare and to control animal diseases, to provide for the establishment of legal and institutional framework for promotion of animal health and for connected purposes.
Our members, we have concluded the second reading of the two bills. That is the Turkana County Education Fund Bill 2023 and the Turkana County Animal Health Bill 2023. Second reading. Both of them will proceed to the next stage. And particularly for the Turkana County Education Fund Bill, it will proceed to the County of the Whole tomorrow morning. So, members, we prepare all the amendments to this particular bills. Thank you. Next order.
Order number 10, adjournment.
Honorable members, there being no other business, this house adjourns until tomorrow, Wednesday, the 15th of October 2023, 9 a.m.
Special Fund Committee saa 8.
Now. Those who are around.